Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to start a new lecture series on database management system. So before discussing the definition and all the things about database management system, first you have to get to know what is data. So what is data? So before discussing it, let me discuss two terminologies. So the first one is attributes or properties and the second is entity or object. So what are these attributes or properties? So I will give you an example. So, how will you differentiate a car with a bike? By considering some characteristics, right? Consider one characteristics like wheels. So, if you take a bike, only two wheels are there, and if you take a car, four wheels are there, right? So, you are differentiating it by that particular characteristic. So, those characteristics are nothing but the attributes. So, these attributes are also known as properties. So, what are these attributes? Attributes are nothing but characteristics, right? So what is this entity or object? So what is mean by this entity? So entity is nothing but an object which is having existence. So that is nothing but entity. Take an example of a person. That person is existing in this world. So he is an entity. And take an example of car, furniture, anything, any object. So those are existing in this world, right? So those are nothing but entities. Those are considered as entities. So Um, what is data then? So I will explain you the definition of data with an example. So let's see the example. So take the example of a person named Shiva. So what is this Shiva? According to these two terminologies, what is Shiva actually called as? Is called as entity, right? He is the existing object. So he is considered as entity or object, right? So Shiva is an entity. So what are this name, age, gender, weight, mobile? So these are nothing but the characteristics to identify that particular thing as a person, right? So, in order to identify the Shiva as a person, you are actually giving the characteristics. So, by these characteristics only, you are going to identify that particular thing as a person, that particular entity is a person, right? So, I have already said you that characteristics are nothing but the attributes, right? Characteristics are nothing but the attributes. And what is this thing called as? So this is the data about a person named Shiva, right? This is all the information about the person named Shiva. So this is considered as data. And you can also say that this data is all the facts about that person, right? So those are considered as raw facts. This data about that person is a raw fact, right? Okay. So now let's see the definition. See, definition. What is data? So data is a raw fact. Data is a raw fact which describes the attributes of a person. That person is Shiva here. See, here I am discussing about a person. So I am telling that it is a person. So let me write the definition here to get the clear understanding. A sorry, data is the raw fact which describes the attributes or properties of a person. Okay, this is the definition of data. See, in this example, we are discussing about a person whose name is Shiva. But in the other example, I am taking the entity as a furniture name. I mean, let's take chair. So there I am discussing about chair, right? So what I have what I have to add in this, what I have to change in this definition is data is the raw fact which describes attributes or properties of a chair. So there I am discussing about chair. So every time instead of changing this, so I can replace it with entity or object, right? So whatever the thing you take, either it may be a person or either it may be a chair, so those are nothing but entity or object, right? So instead of taking a person or a chair every time, so I can add an entity or object instead of that, right? So you can clearly get an understanding of the definition. See, the definition goes like this: data is nothing but a raw fact or which describes attributes or properties of a entity or object. Okay, so this is about data. So if you like my content, please do subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button, so that will give me boost to create more videos like this. And if you want to get regular updates about the videos, you can also join our Telegram channel, which I will be giving you in the description box. So thank you.